My name's Adam. I'm a marketing executive for Thermaltake UK. I cover UK and Ireland. I'm also one of Thermaltake's liquid cooling specialists. Today I'm going to give you a short talk on water cooling and what Thermaltake offer. Why do we water cool? Water cooling can lower the temperature down on your components in a machine. This can give the components more longevity, performance, and giving you that extra room for overclocking as well if you wanted to push your machine further and beyond its limits. Water cooling goes through a series of pipes, pumps and radiators which helps cool the fluid down, which is then connected to each component via a water block. Thermaltake was given an award from Kid Guru for readers that said our water cooling components and the quality of our kit was voted best in 2018. This is for innovation, quality, style and application. To liquid cool, you need basic components, i.e. CPU or GPU water block, fluid of course, and the pump reservoir and radiator. With these main components you can liquid cool basically a CPU. So we do a kit that's everything inside: your tubing, your pump res, your fittings, CPU block, fans, radiators, everything you need to cool a CPU, all in one box. If you wanted to expand that on there onto a VGA card, so all you'd have to do is purchase 2 more fittings, the VGA block, and away you go. So, how does LCS work? LCS is liquid cooling specialist. LCS travels around the system in a series of tubes through blocks and radiators. You can have the flow going from a pump and res to a CPU to a graphics card to a radiator, or from a pump res to a radiator, CPU to graphics card. It doesn't matter which flow rate you go round, your pressure and your temperature will equalise within time. Some people say best to go to CPU first, cool that down. It doesn't really matter. I've tested hundreds of thousands of systems. It makes no difference in flow rate or temperatures. As well, you've got the aesthetics of a water cooling loop as well. As you can see by these diagrams here, we're coming into the radiator, then back to the reservoir again. But it really doesn't matter which variation, which flow rate you go around. Again then, with water cooling, you need ambient air temperature. So you need to choose a case that is right for your application. Be it open frame, like our Core P5 Ti on display, to a cube chassis, or go into the big end of the level 20 GT Plus. You've got to think of your airflow and your ambient temperature going in. The more ambient temperature you get, the more static pressure the fans will cool the radiator, i.e. cool the fluid, cool the components. Cool your system with Thermaltake LCS components. We do a wide variety of components now. We have just launched our world's first water amp, which is a complete water cooling kit and memory. Comes complete fitted with its heat spreaders, so you've got no voiding of warranty. All supplied. Just bolt the water block on to 4 sticks or 2, whatever you want, and you can lower your temperatures down of your RAM. Some RAM runs warm, some doesn't, but we're doing the first kit all in one box to water cool your memory all in one go. Another thing you want to be looking at as well is your fitting choice. Thermaltake make a C Pro. These are a 3-stage fitting. You've got your base plate, which you attach to all your components. Then you have a collar that goes over the top of your tube. Then you have your locking ring. Your collar will help centralise your tube to your base plate. So if you measured from point A to point B to point C and did your measurements and you want to do a 45, 90, pigtail bend, whatever, you can do that measurement and still put the tube in without forcing it into point A, C, D or 0 to X. it doesn't matter. Then just put the collar on, lock the ring down. Inside the collar is 3 O-rings which grip the tube. On the base plate is an O-ring which the collar locates against. Then you've got the outer collar, which is the O-ring then, which pushes the tube downwards where it goes. Very, very good. I haven't had a leak in the machine while using these. And they come in various colours. We have white and red. We have silver on the machine over there. We also do a blue, a green and a black as well. Now coming down to CPU water blocks. Thermaltake make the W4 Plus. This covers Intel and AMD. And fantastic bit of kit. It links up with our RGB Plus software, which is all controllable from one suite. Cools very good, has a 0.12 nanometer thin inset inside the block, so it's a very good fluid distribution across the face of the CPU. Also, when you're looking at is your radiators. Thermaltake now make a full copper and end brass tank radiator. These were voted one of the cleanest radiators on the market, straight out the box. So a quick simple flush through with some DI water, and that's ready to go. Just put your fluid in, it'll neutralise itself with pH balance, because the loop does have to be pH balanced to stop any algae growth, anything. All of our fluid comes with the inhibitors, all pre-made. So here we go now, we've got our M240 kit, which is here. You have your radiator, CPU block, jumper, fittings, pump, everything you need to do a block with full water cooled loop. If you wanted to progress and started upgrading products, it still works with the existing kit by upgrading the reservoir, fans, even RGB fittings. And this thing decides to work. No, it doesn't want it. Technology when you need it anyway.
No, that's it.
Do you want to
You can change that over if there's a reach from over by you. No, it doesn't matter. So when you want to plan your loop, you look at your case, you see which way you want to do your loop, and then you plan out your tube runs, where you want to put your reservoir, where you want to put your radiator. That'll do, guys. So in your loop you're going to be wanting to use a coolant, a pastel colour or a transparent colour. As well, you're going to need CPU water block, GPU water block, your fittings, your pump reservoir, your radiators and your tubing. Your tubing, be it soft tubing or hard line, it's entirely up to you which way you want to go. Will work it? Thank you. No, it doesn't want to work for me. So you flick it over and I'll shout you away. It's not a problem. Okay, this one here is our backlog. Thank you. That's it, stay there. As I spoke to you about our water amp, and we've just introduced a new CPU block, which is the next one up from this one, which is the W5 Plus. The W5 Plus has a built-in temperature sensor, which you can actually see the temperature of your fluid passing through the block. Not your CPU temperature, your fluid temperature. Because fluid temperatures have a maximum TDP as well. So if you're going over 70, 75, 80 C, that can degrade the biocides inside the fluid and reduce its longevity as well. Next is your radiator choice. You can go with a 240, 360, 120, 420, 480, 560. All depends what you want to be building. If you've got a mammoth case and you want to pack it out, like the Tower 900 there, you can bang some big 560 rads in there, maximum cooling, and start, you know, 1 rad per component to get the temperatures down as much as you can, increase your voltage, overclock, push your components to its limit, you know. That's what we want to do, is get the temperatures down, get it within a safe working limit, and go from there. So, you know, everybody knows when a component reaches its temperature, it says, stop, stop, I want to slow myself down to save my life. No, we don't want to save your life, we want to crank it up, get it cool, get it down. So next one please, Wendy. C-Pro fittings, I've gone through there. There's the complete colour range. The greens, the reds, the blues. You can do mixtures of all different colours in a build, or if you wanted to do a all green build or white, we have the fitting to cover your choice. Next one please, Wendy. Okay, here we go again with the C-Pros. I'm showing you about the collar, base plate and the locking cap at the top. We do have a correct way of fitting them. So your O-ring always goes up against your cap, it clamps it down. As you see there, O-ring 2, 3 and 4. It's a real rock solid, leak free. I can take you over there, I can pull on a tube and I can guarantee it won't come off. Next one, Wendy. Tubing wise now, hard tubing or soft tubing, RGB fittings. If you want all the RGB goodness, flashing lights, these are the way to go. But they're addressable as well, so they link with our TT Plus software, which gives a 16.8 million colour per LED. 12 LEDs inside each fitting, 16.8 million times 12 each fitting. Your colour choice is endless. Next one please, Wendy. When you're building a PC, you need power. And when you're adding water cooling components, you're going to need more power, because you're now adding pump reservoir, more fans, GPU blocks if there's RGB attached to it, and possible RGB controllers. So now you're adding more wattage, you're going to have to add more power. So we do the 850 watt. The 850 watt RGB sync is a sweet spot for power supply. You've got your RTX, it can cope with those easy, your i9 9900Ks, no problem at all. We've had it tested by E-Technics, it's sang and sweet, 1000 watt all day long, under load. I think Peter was here who done that. That's it, buddy. Not a day, it's 1000 watt all day long, not a pip, not a squeak out of it. Fantastic power supply. So that just gives you that power supply with a little bit more headroom to just push your components more and crank the power through there. Next one, Wendy, please. System setup tips, planning your system. How do you want it to look? Do you want to do a pigtail? Simple bends, fittings for your corners. The choice is endless. It's take a look at your case, see how you want it to look, and you go from there. You make a mistake, you change your tubing, change your layout, you replan it again. But always, you need air coming into the case and an exhaust. So you've got your static pressure fans pushing against the radiator, and you want your exhaust to take the warm air away. Always have your exhaust fan at a slower speed, which then will create static pressure inside the case. That will then help cool the tubing, the outside of the components even more. You do not want an exhaust fan running 2000, 1500 RPM, because it hasn't got a chance to let the cool air circulate the case. You're just sucking it out straight away. So let the fans do the work, let the air cool the components, let the water do its work as well. Next one please, Wendy. Thermaltake have an ecosystem. Their ecosystem is one whole family. We cover all of our RGB Plus products, from W4s to the RGB fittings, RGB radiators, RGB VGA blocks, keyboards, headsets, a desk, monitor. So the Eco Plus system now syncs up with Razer Chroma, Amazon Alexa, and is voice controlled through the app on your phone as well. You want to walk into your office and say, TT, what's the weather in Canada today? It will change the lights on the complete of your system to the weather in Canada. Or if you, whatever colour you want to go. Go NVIDIA green for me. It'll change it NVIDIA green for you. That's all pre-programmed into the controllers. This now creates a family of RGB. Our RGB is all 16.8 million colours and all ran through our Ring Plus controllers, which now work with all the major motherboard manufacturers through their sync software on the motherboard or through our dedicated software as well. If you look on the screen over there, our software is running for the fans. You can dial all your fan speeds in, colour on your blocks, everything you want to do by automation of the machine, looks, style, performance. Just do it from your chair. You don't need to get up and fiddle around with it. fully programmable, multiple profiles to save in, very easy software to work with. Next one please, Wendy. That's it, thank you.